going, everybody? Welcome to the channel, Level M Diecast. Of course, we are on our route for completion purposes as usual, so we are going to crack open a ton of 5-packs. We're going to start from the oldest one and work our way forward. 1998 is going to be the oldest one right here. This one right here is Power Shift Garage. Now, I do collect every one of these castings in here, but I didn't have the GT and I didn't have this Olds Aurora at the top. I have these three, so I'm not really sure how I acquired those without getting the rest of these, but it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and just get right into this. So let's see if we actually keep enough cars to cover up the wall there in the back. The Olds Aurora GTS, the good old like Trans Am racer based on the Olds Aurora. It's a pretty cool casting. They have some better versions out. Clearly, this is not a very good version, especially with the purple interior, but very Hot Wheelsified. Very, very Hot Wheelsified. But we're going to keep that one, add that one to the collection. And then, of course, the Ford GT, old school Ford GT. This casting's been around for quite some time. Obviously, they're still using this casting to this day. Still pumping out some new versions. So, 1999 says on the base. So this was probably a relatively new casting when this came out in the 5-pack. Just says Q Racing on the side. Nothing particularly fancy. Then, of course, the rest of the models that are in here, this is the police car. This is based on the Holden Commodore. So that one's pretty straightforward. The Porsche 911 GT3, I did have this one with those same wheels. Very interesting. And, of course, the Thailand base. The different wing on the back. And then the last one, of course, is the Wrecker. The Wrecker looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It's a Ford. But this casting's been around since the Blackwell era. I think it's pretty good. I collect that one as well, but for some reason I had those three, so we'll go ahead and set those three to the side. Get those off of the studio. Alright, moving on. We're going to go to 2000 now. We have a few from 2000, so this is the one we're going to take a look at from 2000. This is called Asphalt Assault. Now, one of the things that Hot Wheels was doing a lot back in the day is majority of them would come in a single pack as well. So if you were missing one, you could always potentially get it in a single pack. But every once in a while, there was ones that were only in the multi-packs. So this particular pack I only got for the MR2, which is right here. I do have this Ram, and I do have the Peterbilt. I don't collect the F-150 or the dually C3500, the customized C3500. So this one has some tape on it. Get the tape off. So working on my MR2s, I'm getting closer and closer and closer to being done with these. Getting pretty excited about that. Some of these are pain in the butt to find. This one's not a very good deco on this one. Just says Hot Wheels Trans on the side, maintenance and service. Yeah, terrible deco for a sports car. Just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but they do what they want to do. Peterbilt right here, nothing particularly fancy with it. At least they do have matching decos. Of course, it's a dump truck, does dump truck things. And then the Ram and the F-150, both good castings. Both good castings, good, appropriate for their era. Nothing particularly fancy. They did have a pretty good amount of base details to them, which is always good. So always got to watch out for base variations as well. So maybe I don't have those. I'll check the base variations. And then, of course, there is the C3500, the customized C3500. Didn't actually have dualies, but it was a pretty cool casting when it came out. It was super popular, and some of the versions of that casting are still popular to this day. Not a ton of them, but some of them. All right, next one up. This one's also from 2000. This one is going to be sports themed. I don't think it necessarily has a name, just sports. So sports theme related. So this particular one, I think there might be two in here. Let's see here. Oh, I got some tape. Get some top A. So this one right here I already had, but this is the blimp. This is touchdown on one side, and then you rotate the thing in the back, and then it just turns into a football. Hot Wheels Sports League, it says on the side. Just a little bit of piece of metal in the bottom, but I do have that particular one. This one is pretty good. I do have this one, though. This one actually came with two different wheels. So I don't remember what the other wheel is, but it's lace and something else. But two different wheel variations for that particular Holden Commodore, the race car one, the V8 Supercars. So I'll throw that in there. Generic casting right here, nothing particularly fancy. Actually, no, this is the Callaway. Yeah, Callaway C7, not a generic casting. That's a real car, but Terrible version of it. Terrible version of it. And then, of course, you do have your Dodge Ram. Or, I'm sorry, your Dodge Caravan with a Chrysler grill on it, which I always thought was weird. But it is a Dodge Caravan, but they tooled it up with a Chrysler grill. So the Dodge was never offered with that Chrysler grill. I'm not really sure what people over there at Hot Wheels were doing. But this pack I bought for this guy right here, this is the semi-fast. So I recently started collecting this casting. Nothing particularly fancy, but I did start to collect it. It does hitch up with the kind of Super Rig link up right here, although there's just not enough clearance on the truck to really like tow. But, I mean, Hot Wheels tried. Nothing particularly fancy on the side here. It looks like maybe volleyball for this particular one. So I'll throw that in there. So, and then of course you had soccer, hockey, and some other stuff. Get those off the studio. All right, one more from 2000. This one is a pretty decent one as well. This one is Victory Lane. This one has some of the same castings we've already seen. So you might have an idea what we're going for here. So get this one cracked open. Should have a little bit of tape on there, or maybe just a lot of tape on it. A lot of tape on it. There we go. Get the piece of tape off of there. So I did not have this particular version of the Holden Commodore, so this one's going in the collection. This one done up with the racing deco. Looks pretty good. You know, the quality wasn't all that great at this time. Hot Wheels was just pumping out stuff as fast as humanly possible. So the product planners were probably really busy. The deco designers were really busy, but Hot Wheels was just doing their best to get stuff to the market as soon as possible. So Hot Wheels were selling like hotcakes at this time. Another version of the Callaway C7, much better. Oop. And that one just took off on us. No big deal. Not going to keep that one. Ferrari F355 Challenge. This is a pretty good casting. It's a pretty good casting. It has a separate wing on the back, which is clear. And it says Racing #1 on the front. And then, of course, it's got a metal base, which isn't bad. 355 Challenge. I don't really do this era of Ferraris, so that one is not going to go in the collection. This one I'll probably keep because I have kept a few of the more modern Escorts, so I think we're going to go with the Escorts for a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. So we'll put the Escort up there. And then, of course, the last one on there, in case you guys were already curious, of course, is the Semi-Fast. So pick that one up to add the Semi-Fast there. Just says number 12 on the side, nothing particularly fancy. Put up there with our other Semi-Fast. Get those off there. All right, package change. We're moving up to 2002. So this is the package designed for 2002. Went to all clear, which I actually like. I like this package design quite a bit. It's pretty nice. It also has a retractable J-hook in here. So if you pop this out, it doesn't work perfectly well. It's a good design, a good design idea, but didn't always execute that well. But anyways, the J-hook is supposed to slide out the top, so if you want it hanging on the shelf, you can, or you can put that away and then you don't have to worry about it. So we'll just get this cracked open with a little bit of glue on there. So slide this out. Comes with a little trading card in the back as well. So there's the J-hook that slides up. There you go. Goes down, slides up. Nothing particularly fancy, but it's alright. This one is the whole thing. This is the only part of the packaging I don't like. The whole cover is like literally the cover. So it's one piece of plastic. So get this. There we go. There's so much plastic in the studio. So much plastic. Casting that nobody cares about, of course, is the Olds Aurora itself. This was supposed to be a big deal, but turned out to be a mediocre sales thing from Oldsmobile. This one right here, which is, I forget what the name of this is, it's Buick Wildcat, I think. Yeah, there you go, Buick Wildcat. This is the one that I bought this particular pack for. That whole top window section is just painted onto the casting. There's no interior to this. This casting was originally designed for Demolition Man or Judge Dredd, one of the two. And so that's why it says 93 Mattel. At one point in time, they said 93 Warner because it was licensed by Warner Brothers. This is a very rare, not very often used casting, even back in the day. This is the Saturn Ion Coupe. This one is actually pretty cool. Pretty cool. Probably one of the only diecast makers to ever make this era of Saturn Ion, which I almost bought one of these at one time, way back in the day when I was way, way younger. I'm not going to keep this casting. I'll move this on to somebody else, but just want to showcase that because that's kind of cool. And then, of course, your Roger Dodger. Nothing fancy with it. Does have a metal engine, though, which is okay. Details on the base, 1970. Since has been heavily modified. And, of course, your Corvette. Man, these decals are just terrible. It says K9 Crusher on the hood. K9 Crusher. Like, these are just terrible decals. I'm not really sure who at Mattel thought that this was a good marketing tactic, but, I mean, these decals are terrible. They're really bad. Get that guy out of here. All right, this one's a little bit better. Not too great, but a little bit better. This one is called Tiki Torture. Yep, Tiki Torture. Tiki Torture. Yeah, it's literally what it's called. Tiki Torture gift pack. So we'll get this one cracked. This one was originally sold from Kmart for $4.79. There is the trading card for this guy, the squashed dairy delivery, the Blings dairy delivery. Get that out of here. We will take out our trusty little knife. Get this chopped open. Just wrap it around. There we go. Pieces and pieces and pieces. Alright, so we'll just get into the casting that I bought the whole pack for. Yes, the Mini Cooper. You guys know I'm chasing down the Mini Coopers, so got to pick all those up. It says Rally on the top. This one looks okay. This one looks okay. It's the hook assembly model. It's not even hooked in the pack, but there you go. Opens up. It's been heavily modified. Even the one that still opens today, the one that they use today that you know, has opening feature right there, still has a super modified section inside. There's no roll cage in it anymore. But it's pretty good. It has a metal base as well, so metal body, metal base. Let's see here. I'll move this guy down since I just put him in there because we're going to take a look at this guy, which is another one of the Escorts. Nothing particularly fancy. This one just comes with the standard 5 spokes. The wing in the back is pretty nice. Again, they still make this to today. But this casting's been pretty modified from its original version. Now, obviously, they got rid of the extra wing on the back right here. So, but it's okay. I think the Escort Rally is a pretty cool casting. So we'll put that guy right there. This would be one that I would collect. However, I already have this. This is the Isuzu Vehicross. Probably one of only the only die-cast makers domestically that would even attempt to make this model. It's a very unique model. It was very, very ahead of its time design-wise when it came out. And, of course, just being a two-door SUV off-roader, it was not super popular because it wasn't super practical. Deco is very interesting. Very, very interesting on the deco. But metal base on this one, so not too shabby. China base, I'll have to see if mine's different, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. And then the last one in here is, of course, the Lancia Stratos. Very, very weird. This one has a gorilla on there. Gorilla with number 4. The dual 5 spokes, or I'm sorry, 10 spoke wheels, and no particular deco fanciness on there. But I do collect this casting, and I do not believe I have this one, so we're going to put this one in the wall, because I don't believe I have that one, but I might. All right, I think we're moving to a new year. Nope, we're still on 2002, so one more for 2002. Some kind of birthday gift pack of some sort. Oh yeah, B-Day. It says B-Day right there. So this one, only one model in this whole pack. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think you guys can pretty much guess which one that is. I think it's a little bit, oh, there we go. That's a pretty good one right there. That's pretty cool. That tuned Boss Hoss Mustang. Pretty cool. Get that out of here. And we'll get our top A cut here. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. There we go. All right, this one is pretty bland, so I think we're just going to cut to the chase. This is the Viper. Of course, the original RT10 casting. It says Dodge. This is number 4 on there. Very weird that he uses all small lace wheels on there. Very weird to see the small wheels on this particular casting, but we'll roll with it. It's different. I definitely didn't have this particular version. I'm sure it probably came with bigger wheels, but look how much wheel gap is in there. I mean, this casting was designed to use the bigger wheel. Like, it just needs to have a bigger wheel. It just didn't have the bigger wheel, so throw that there. And then just generic junk. We won't even go over those. We won't waste our time. Let's just keep it rolling. So I still have a ton of 5-packs to go. All right, 2006. All right, we're jumping up to 2006. Off-Road Warriors is the pack. There are 2 castings in this one. See, originally I was trying to mark them. I was trying to put like little marks on the side, but you can't really ride on plastic. So 2006, they were still using this style of packaging. Road Rocket is the one in the back there for track aces. So throw that out there. More of this tape on the back side. Here we go. Get this flipped over, get the plastic off. So much plastic. Here we go. All right, so the very first one we'll take a look at is the Toyota RSC. This is one that I collect for sure, and been working on, kind of knocking down all the castings. I think it's cool. I think it's a very interesting concept off-roader. I don't think it would have ever made it in the market, even if they would have made it, but it is cool. It is pretty cool. I think this is based on like a super modified RAV4 chassis maybe, or could just be all new. I have no idea. I really don't know too much about the RSC. I feel like the Hot Wheels car looked cooler than the actual physical RSC. Sorry, that's Toyota released as a concept. And then this one right here, this is the Roll Patrol, not the actual Jeep, just the Roll Patrol. Number 5 on the side, pretty straightforward in gold. Kind of sort of based on the original Jeep casting from Blackwell era, but clearly not licensed. Clearly not licensed. Mattel did that on purpose. I'll put this guy up there. The Dakar is what this was called. It's an okay casting. It was pretty popular when it was a first edition. It's just junk now, but it was popular when it was new for a little bit. And then let's see what's in here. This is just as off tracker, just a generic off-road kind of Baja truck. It looks kind of cool. It's a plastic body. I do like the yellow headlights from the yellow window. It looks pretty cool, but pretty straightforward after that. Metal base makes it a little bit better. And then of course the weird whatever this thing is called, XSI, that's what it's called, always has this weird tilt to it. Well, this one actually has decos on both sides and both pieces. Usually like the front or the back is missing a deco almost all the time with this casting, but very, very interesting. Yeah, they would never make this casting nowadays because it would cost a fortune, because this casting consists of like 8 pieces. So Hot Wheels would definitely not do that. And then of course it's got those weird offset wheels, which is just interesting. So more junk for the pile. More junk I'm not keeping, I should say. All right, next one up right here, we do have ourselves wish list. Wish list. Of course, it looks like Batman. It says wish list, but it looks like Batman. This one's kind of interesting little mix of stuff right here. Get this popped out of here. There is the little card in the back. Brutalistic for track aces. We've only really gotten like one good one in that whole spiel. So get that out of that. There we go. There we go. All right, so starting from the top is the go-kart. I do believe I have this go-kart. It says Hot Wheels on the side. Hot Wheels Motorsport uses the there's 2 different front small wheels that uses like the old school like mini car wheel that they had. They also made a smaller 5-spoke version to match this as well, but this one uses that particular wheel. Has a different seat in there, or a separate piece in there for the seat, which is plastic. And then there is the Deets, nothing particularly fancy with the go-kart. Very, very cool. I think I need this one, but I probably already have it, so I think I'll just put it up there anyways, and just roll with it. This one is the Myers Makes, nothing particularly fancy with it. I don't collect this casting, but it looks okay. The off-road kind of dune buggy, this one's kind of cool because the cage is metal. As a matter of fact, the whole casting's metal. Power Sander, it's called. It's pretty heavy. It's a pretty heavy thing. I don't collect that guy, but it's cool that it's all metal. This is the original quad. This is the Blackwell style era of quad, so I'm pretty sure I need this one. Just has number 8 on the side, nothing particularly fancy. So I think I'll hold on to that one just in case I need that one. There's a small possibility. Maybe I don't. And then, of course, there is the scooter. Yes, the fold-up power scooter. It says Hot Wheels on there. It's got like wood details on there. Little tiny wheel on the front, big old wheel on the back. It does fold up just like that. You can carry it around. The little trick scooters were super popular back then. They're still popular today, but not too shabby. I'm pretty sure I have this one too, but I guess we'll just throw it up here for right now, just in case, and I'll double check if I have that one or not later on. All right, last one up for this style of packaging, I do believe, 2006. 2006, yep, we're still on there. Not a very good pack right here. This one's called Aerial Attack. I just collect the blimp, of course, and the copter, so this one will be very, very quick. We won't go through the rest. That one is Slingshot in the back. So we'll just get this rolling. So get this popped over here. There we go. All right. Get into the blimp. It says resist with a backwards E for a 3. So very interesting. And then when you roll this around, just as Hot Wheels, nothing particularly fancy. And of course there is your little logo right there for Airways or Air Flight, whatever the pack was called. So it's not too shabby. So put that guy in there, and it does sit on the little base on the blimp, which is pretty good. And then of course just the helicopter, really, really straightforward. It says Stinger. It's got a B on it, which is just ridiculous. Blades open up like the copters should. It goes one direction. Whatever. They open up though, and then of course the rear tail section comes out. Good old quality. Terrible quality. So droops. Drives me nuts. But it is what it is. I'll throw that guy down at the bottom. And then just that's those are the models, in case you guys are curious. We'll just roll on. Roll on from the mad props. Dropping them. All right, moving on to 2008. 2008, we do have Volcano Shooters. So Volcano Shooters, that one is an error. That one is jacked up. But of course, we're going to do the Oldsmobile and of course the Mitsubishi Eclipse, the tuned one. That casting was barely used ever. So we'll just go ahead and get right into this. This one doesn't have like the fancy opening. There we go. We got tape on it. No tape. So there is our error. You can see it's been absolutely smashed. Just absolutely smashed. Look at that. Just terrible. That is the Lotus 340R. So very, very interesting piece, but it's just been absolutely annihilated. So it was probably something for somebody back in the day, but now that I cracked it open, it doesn't have its luster anymore. There is your tuned Eclipse, the second generation Eclipse with, of course, a giant turbo on the hood. Red window on this particular one, giant exhaust in the back. This one's kind of cool. I think they only did maybe like 4 or 5 versions of this casting. So this one is kind of cool. It's kind of different. So we'll throw that up there. This is the Pajero. This is the tuned Pajero. I really don't like this one. I hate this one. The wheels are giant. It just doesn't look good. So definitely not going to add that to the collection. But we will add this particular one. The Olds GTS one. Very bland deco on the side. It's just like fluid. It's like silver fluid too. Like maybe mercury or something. It's really, really weird. But it's just a version I didn't have, so we'll put these together. We'll put the two Olds together. Move our Ford GT. I actually got to fill up the whole wall, which is pretty shocking. And then, of course, the Firebird. This one in solid black, like matte black, with a little bit of blue deco on the side. It looks okay. But giant wheels on it. It's a little bit modified. It's Hot Wheels modified. It just doesn't look very good. So we'll throw that in there. We'll throw our Lotus back in there and get this one off the screen. We just got a few more 5-packs, guys. Go. I know this video has been crazy long. Shark Bite Racers. Just a couple of models in here. Nothing particularly fancy. So we'll get this cracked open. A little bit different package. It's 2008, so we're up to 2008, by the way. There we go. All right, the Shark car from the pre-Blackwell era. This is from like Ultra Hots. This is a pretty good one. So it's kind of a different casting. Not a lot of people like that casting. Same with this one right here, the Split Image. So Split Image 2. I'm pretty sure I have this one. I have so many different versions of these, but I'm pretty sure I have this one, but we'll set that there just in case I don't. The Corvette, nothing particularly fancy with it, just the regular Stingray. The color looks really good though. I really like the silver. It's very nice silver. But it's got the cheapy plastic base on the bottom. The Pontiac Rageous is the next one. This casting is not very good. And this was definitely going to be a horrific car if Pontiac ever made it. It was super ugly. Really, really ugly. So glad Pontiac decided not to make that. And then the last one in here, of course, is this Shark car. Been just kind of narrowing these down. I'm very, very close to the end of these. Just a few left. And then I'm done with this casting, and then we can move on to something else. So just a little bit of generic love right there. All right, we got a decent one right here. This one's World Racers. So it's got 4 decent castings in it. This one right here is a little bit, not good, but decent castings. So still on 2008. So we'll get this cracked open. There we go. So the first one up in this model is the Lotus. It's the Exige, I think. Yeah, Lotus Exige looks okay. It's okay. It's got Lotus colors on it. British Racing green, yellow on there. Looks pretty good. Has a number 4. Not going to collect that one. I'm going to stay away from that casting. I do collect this one though, the original Countach. Not the original Countach, but the like no wing Countach. So this one's okay. Nothing particularly fancy. The deco's pretty straightforward. But I definitely collect that particular casting. 1997 was when that was a new casting. And then, of course, we have ourselves another Ford GT. This one in red, white, and blue deco. Looking very, very good. Uses those crazy 5 spokes. Big open 5 spokes. And, of course, 40 on the side because, of course, GT40. And, of course, I just put that Lambo right where this one should go so I can keep these together. There we go. Keep the 2 GTs. And then the only other one that's of notable talking about is, of course, the Toyota Baja truck, which is okay. It's okay. This casting came out in that Toyota series just like maybe a month ago, so they're still rocking this casting as well. So this one has a plastic base though. At least the one in the silver series came with a metal base. This one's pretty decent, Volkswagen, but I'm only doing 1 casting in here, and that's going to be the Beetle Cup at the bottom. So I just picked this up for that. And in case you guys were curious, I paid $2 a piece for these 5 packs. So, sometimes you just get lucky and you just go through a whole slew of 5 packs and pull out what you want. So $2 per 5 pack, not too shabby. There is the Volkswagen Beetle, very, very cool version. That'll go in somebody else's collection, not mine. The Golf, kind of the Toon Golf GTI in just plain yellow. Not a fan of this casting. Definitely not a fan, but it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm just not a fan of that casting. Old school Baja Beetle. This one is also from the Blackwell era. Back in the day. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little bit on the bigger side of a casting, but it's okay. So 1983 was when that was a new casting. The Golf, I think this is like a Mark II, maybe Mark III Golf. Mark II Golf maybe. Doesn't particularly tell you on the bottom, but it's okay. It's a okay casting. It's just okay. I don't like the chrome base because I don't like the whole chrome front end, but other than that, it's okay. And then of course the last one in the mix, get that model back in there, the Beetle Cup car itself. Man, these cars are all rounded. You can't get them out of the package. So there is the Beetle Cup car. This is also one of those opening models. Opens up, sees all the detail inside. And of course still has the window and stuff in there. I wish Hot Wheels would still make these, but of course that costs more money. So I guess they can't swing that for $1 a piece. Guy has a little bit of extra deco on it too. So not too shabby for the Beetle. So we'll put the Beetle in there. All right, next one up. I think we're on 2009. Yep, 2009 Jungle Rally. So you might think I got it for the Lancer, but no, in fact I did not. I got it for the RSC at the top. The Lancer will go to somebody else at some point in time. Certainly will not stay with me because I just don't collect that. So get our Toyota RSC out of here. It's kind of got a weird, obviously jungle themed deco to it. Not a fan. So I do like the yellow window. Yellow window's okay. Other than that, it's not particularly fancy, but you know, just being a completionist, sometimes you just have to chase stuff down, and it is what it is. That is it's the roll cage guy, another Dakar, and of course there is your Lanza Evo, which is it's okay. I mean, this is a good casting. It's the WRC casting, so it's got the cage and stuff in there, and it's pretty good. I like the matte green. I just don't collect this casting, and of course, what is even the point of the chrome base? Like, you can barely see the tip of the exhaust. I'm not really sure why I decided to go with chrome base. Maybe Hot Wheels just had a ton of money to spend. And then, of course, the last one in there is the Hummer. Nothing particularly fancy, just has 3 on the side. Giant lifted, ridiculous, over-the-top Hummer, as you'd expect from Hot Wheels. So we'll get that over there. And then I got one more pack. I know it's been a ridiculously long haul. Holiday Hot Rods. This one is from 2011. Only one particular casting, and this is a pretty rare casting. Pretty rare casting. So they did not use that saline race car all that often. And then of course they had like the Walmart Chase version, which had like the lettering on the tires and stuff like that. So I bought it particularly for that. The black print on the top's not all that great. It kind of sucks. But the casting is really nice. I do like this race saline. It looks good. Nothing particularly fancy. 11 on the side. Base deets. There we go. Not too shabby. Too shabby. Just put down on it there. And then this also comes with a couple of decent ones. There is your SRT Charger, which is just a terrible casting. It's really terrible. It's squished and stuff. The Super B logo on the back just does not look good. I don't like this casting at all. It's one of the worst castings ever. The Shelby Cobra Concept, which is pretty good. It says 25 on the top there. Then it says, what does it say on there? It says, oh, Christmas. Christmas 2012. Christmas 2012. And then just a little bit of print in the back. It's not a bad casting. Not a bad casting. I think that casting's okay. The Mercury Cougar Eliminator is a pretty decent one. I do like the fact that the wing is a separate piece in the back. So that's an okay casting. That's an okay casting. And then the Super Duty or something Duty. I think it's called something Duty. It's a generic casting. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible all the way around. So throw that to the side. So there you go. There is a smorgasbord. I think that was 16 5-packs. Just to add, you know, maybe a third of that worth of cars to the collection. And even there's even a couple in here that I'm not 100% sure I need. There might be some variations or whatever. But there was at least one car in every pack that I needed for sure to buy the packs. I got them for $2 a piece. Not a big deal. So glad I can you know, fill in a couple holes here and there. So drop a comment. Let me know what you think about that. We're going to roll out here on LMD. Peace.